Listen, man, if we want to keep this channel as authentic as possible, I gotta say what I truly believe. And sometimes that's gonna bring up some controversial topics, some controversial opinions. You all know me and my opinions on getting big, on working out. And the biggest reasons why I always say that I believe most people struggle to really put on muscle mass is because of the fact that when I see people working out, no one's working like even close to like as hard as I'm working. When I was bulking up, when I was building muscle mass, I was training like I was going to war with myself. Like I was like training so hard, like frothing at the mouth, like literally like killing myself on every set over and over again. And then I look at other people and it's like relative to me, I'm not saying that they were training really poorly, but relative to me, it looks like they're training just to mild discomfort. Like they're not actually pushing themselves close to failure. I don't see that effort level. Anyways, a little ramble over. The point I want to make in this video is it's a cue for if you're putting in enough effort. So if you've been going to the gym, let's say you've been going to the gym for 6 months, even 1 year, and you're one of those people who are like, you feel like you're doing everything right. You're putting in the consistency. You're not missing any days, right? You're eating right. You're eating tons of food, calories, whatever. You're following a proper routine. You're not overtraining. You're not undertraining. You're training each muscle group 2 times a week. You're not showing up 6 days a week. You're putting in the effort. At least you think you are. You're going to RPE 10 or RPE 8 or whatever was prescribed to you from your online program. So you feel like you're doing everything right and you're just not seeing results. I think I know your problem. The question I want to ask is, in the last 6 months to 1 year, have you ever been injured? Have you ever, tweaked your back, tweaked your shoulder, pulled a muscle, done something where, you've been putting out of action? You couldn't just show up again the next day or the next week because, you're actually hurt. Even though you want to show up, it's like, it's just, you shouldn't. Like, you can't lift enough because you're injured. If you've been training for 6 months to 1 year and you've not seen good progress, and this has never happened to you, I gotta say, chances are you are probably not training hard enough. Now, I know that sounds really bad. I'm like, Bishmar's telling me to go and get injured and that's the way to grow. No, I'm not saying getting injured is good. But what I'm saying is, if you've been training consistently for a long period of time, the chances that you've been training with, the perfect amount of effort, the perfect amount of intensity, where you're training just close enough to failure, but still not to the point where you've gone over that and injured yourself, it is very, very low. The chances of you actually training perfectly is very, very low, especially, if you're newer, it's your first year, you're still figuring things out. I gotta say, maybe rethink about the effort level you're putting in. Personally, what I see in the gym is people are not training close to failure. They may be trained to like RPE 6 or something. Hold on, there's a fucking thing. It's still going. Bro, how's it so loud but so slow? I swear I heard it. It's like 5 minutes to pass. Okay, anyways, it's still going. Anyways, personally, from what I see in the gym is that people are just not pushing close to failure. Maybe they're pushing until like, it gets to a point where it's actually hard, or like they got to a point where it's like it actually kind of hurts a bit. Because I can see it, like maybe in their last rep, it looked like they put some effort in, but obviously I'm not watching people that closely, but just from like a superficial view, it looks like they put it down once it gets hard. That is wrong, at least if you want to train for growth. If you want to train for growth, you have to push beyond the point where it gets hard, where it starts slowing down, where it starts to hurt. Even when it starts to burn, you still keep going. You have to push, you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. Actually, there's funny enough, like, you might have heard it already, like David Goggins or the Navy SEALs, they say that there's a 40% rule where you start to feel tired or you start to feel like you want to put it down when you've only used 40% of your energy. And I think it's fairly accurate, to be honest, because I noticed that, let's say a weight that, going all out, going to the max, I can do a set of 10 on. Maybe on a day that I feel lazy, I do about 5 reps and it's like, holy shit, I just want to put this down, because it's like a day I feel lazy, maybe my nervous system isn't primed, maybe I'm mentally not there, and it's like, holy shit, I just want to put it down. But it's like, when I know that because I track my progress. This is why it's very important to track your progress, because otherwise on days where you're not feeling good or feeling lazy, you're not going to push yourself as hard. But anyways, I can catch myself almost about to put it down and it's like, wait, I'm just halfway through. And so like, I forced myself to do the last 5 reps again. And it was really hard. It was a struggle, but I felt really tired and it was hurting maybe a bit, but I got through to the end. And so it goes to show you, like, It's very hard, bro. Like, I'm not trying to gas myself up or anything, but a lot of people do not push themselves this hard, or at least they don't push themselves this hard all of the time. Maybe like that one day they're feeling motivated, the one day they took like 3 cups of coffee or like their pre-workout, whatever. That day they'll push themselves really hard, but the others, they won't. You got to push yourself really hard and you got to do it consistently. There's a list of cues. I think I saw it on Sean Nawali's video, but a list of cues that will kind of let you know if you're pushing yourself hard enough. I'll go over them really quickly. So one is like, is there an audible grunt, when you're doing your sets? Usually if you actually pushing yourself really hard to the maximum, the last few reps, maybe the last like the last maybe like 3 to 5 reps of the set, you're gonna be like, you're gonna hear something. Like you can usually, for me, it's like, the next one is like, how nervous are you before the set? If you're just going to the set and you're like, okay, time for me to do my set, you put up the weights and you start your set, chances are you're probably going to do something that's not that difficult. Your chances are you're not going to push yourself to failure. If you were going to push yourself to failure, you would have been like, oh my God, okay. You would be questioning the fact that if you can even do the set for the prescribed amount of reps, because that's how hard it's going to be, right? If it's going to be close to the point of failure, it's going to be extremely hard. So you're going to be kind of dreading it mentally. It's not something where you're just going to be able to pick up the weights and do in 1 second. Guys, there's a whole list of them. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I'm going to put it up on screen maybe for a second, and then I'm going to put it in the comments below, so go check those out. Make sure that you're training really hard because it's very important. As for the 40% rule with the Navy SEALs, whatever, I believe like it's pretty accurate. Maybe not 40% for most of us in the gym, but let's say like when it starts to feel tired, that's you're halfway through this set, bro. You're not fully done this set. If you're doing push-ups and you start to feel tired, you're halfway done. Let's say you get tired at 25 push-ups. You could theoretically do 50 at least. Let's say you did 5 reps and now it's like, or maybe you did 6 reps and now it's starting to really hurt and burn. You can do 12. So that's a good baseline to have. Obviously, the best thing to do is keep track of your progress so that you can hold yourself accountable. That's the math. It doesn't lie. It keeps you in check. Listen, man, I'm not saying go and get injured or it's the best thing to do. But experienced lifters know that getting injured is part of the process. It's inevitable. If you're training right, if you're doing everything properly, chances are every once in a while you're going to tweak your back, you're going to tweak your shoulder. We account for this. It's part of the process. Making a comeback is part of the process. Setbacks are part of the process. If you've never been injured and you've been lifting consistently and you're not seeing the progress you want to, you really got to recheck your effort levels. I'm telling you, it's probably not enough. You're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. Go check out the cues that I listed. Go and implement the strategy the next time you go to the gym. Try to push yourself a little bit harder. You might actually notice some of these cues starting to pop up. You might start feeling nervous before the set. You might start hearing yourself grunting at the end of the set. You might notice like at the end of the set, it's getting really slow. The reps getting really, really slow to push, that last rep, it's taking a long time. Anyways, guys, I hope this video helped some of you guys out. And for the others, I hope it reinforced the idea of how much effort you do need in the gym in order to see the growth. Drop a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you're not already, comment your thoughts down below, let me know what you think, share your own ideas. With that being said, thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.